Okay, so we're starting again. We are in the introduction of the Siddur, Zichron, Dovid, and we got to the Ruach.
The Ruach. Though the neshama only wants to connect and be subservient to Hashem, there is a tendency of the nefesh to solidify in one's baser desires, qualities, and serve its desires, ever searching but never finding true satisfaction in the many pleasures of the world. Therefore, it requires an effort and an intermediary quality that we call Ruach, to channel the light of Hashem from neshama into the nefesh.
Okay, so today someone gave me a little rebuke that this is too much information without introductions. Even though we did some introductions, but this guy was claiming that we didn't give enough introductions, so we'll try to fill it up, Bezrat Hashem. Okay, so basically we have for now 3 parts. Even though I didn't speak about the neshama yet, but we spoke about the nefesh. Now we're speaking about the ruach, and then we have the neshama. And really, it had to come all together because the ruach is the connection between the neshama and the nefesh. So we can't speak about the connection without having the two things that are connected by the connection, right? Meaning, by the way, when I wrote this introduction, I have this idea of putting the neshama before the ruach because of this reason, to present first the 2 ends and then the ruach, which is the connection, it makes sense, but I decided to go by the order. So the order is nefesh, then ruach, then neshama, and then afterwards we'll see about the chaya nechida, which is another thing. But again, what we just read is that the nefesh is going after this world, all the pleasures of this world that are physical. So the nefesh desires. Why? Because the nefesh is connected with the physical body, right? Gives the sustenance to the physical body, like we spoke about yesterday. Now, the problem is that this world, by definition, is limited, right? Nothing lasts. There's no pleasure in this world that lasts. Everything is just temporary. So we're getting some pleasure for some time, and that's it. How many candies you can eat? There's only a certain amount of candies, and it doesn't give you any pleasure anymore. You're fed up of it. You don't want anymore, right? So it gives some satisfaction, some pleasure for some time, and that's it. Very, very limited, right? So we're searching all the time. All the people in the world are searching for new pleasures, new excitements, new things, right? That's the whole world. The whole world is built in this way of searching for new things, all kinds of crazy things, and people, as far as their mind can take them, they're going very far with it, and to be creative and to invite develop new ideas and new pleasures, whatever, right? But the truth of the matter, even though there is many interesting good things, thank you very much, but again, by definition, nothing lasts. Nothing lasts. Now, when we're speaking about the neshama, the other end, so the neshama is internal. Okay? It's not related to the physical. There's no connection between the neshama and the physical. Okay? No connection. The connection is the ruach. So really is the connection. But some people think, by mistake, the neshama rests within the body, within the physical body. It's not true. It's not true. According to Nefesh Chaim that we learned when we started those classes about 3-4 years ago, whatever it was. So the Nefesh Chaim says very, very clearly that just the light of the neshama comes to the person, but the neshama itself is in the world of the neshamot. So the channel that the light of the neshama comes to us is called ruach. The ruach is this channel, is this pipe that brings the light of the neshama into the nefesh. Okay? So again, we are looking for the satisfaction. All the things that we are searching, the satisfaction by them doesn't give us this satisfaction that we are hoping for, because they are limited. And what we are looking for, what we are searching, is something that is internal. And by definition, we will never find it in this world, in this physical dimension. because all of this physical dimension is limited. So, where is it then? In the neshama. The neshama have unlimited satisfaction. Okay? That's the quality of the neshama. The neshama is basically our connection to Hashem. In a certain way, we can say that. Or it has the potential to give us the connection to Hashem. And therefore, it has the potential, it has the ability for something that is internal. Because Hashem is internal, right? Now, the Ruach, again, is the connection between what we know, which is the physical, with the life energy that sustains the physical, that we call nefesh, and what we don't know, which is the neshama, which is the higher part of our being. Okay, so yesterday we present the question of who are you, or who am I? And the answer should be, I am a neshama. What does it mean that I am a neshama? Okay, we have to learn. But this is the answer, right? Because all of the functions that we spoke about yesterday of this world, yeah, that I'm a father for my children, and I'm a child for my parents, and I'm a husband for my wife, and I'm a teacher for my students, all of those different functions are very, 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 very limited because it's part of this world, right? So a part of those functions that I'm fulfilling in this world, what am I? Neshama. The neshama is not connected to this world. It's not limited. So when I'm done with this world after 120, so I'm still the same neshama. For the neshama, nothing changed. Everything keeps on going. The neshama was in the world of neshamot, and it's still in the world of neshamot. Everything is okay. So somebody that is not aware of that, and all what is aware of is the physical dimension. So when something gets wrong in the physical dimension, so it's the end of the world. If he lost his money, if he's lost his wealth, his health, his something, whatever, somebody that passed away, so it's the end of the world. But if we are getting a little bit out, a little bit disconnect ourselves from the attachment to the physical, so for the neshama, okay, can be rich, can be poor, can be healthy, can be sick, the body, but the neshama is there anyhow. So as much as we are connected with our consciousness to our neshama, so all of those changes in this world doesn't really affect us, right? It's a little bit similar to scuba diving. Scuba diving, going down in the water.
Okay.
Why? Because when you are on the surface of the water, so whatever happens makes a big difference. The weather, there's a boat coming, all kinds of different things. So everything affects you. You have to be careful, this, that, all kinds of different things. Someone that is diving inside, deep, so all of those different things doesn't really make any difference. It can be rainy, it can be sunny. When you're deep under the water, so everything is okay, as long as you have air, obviously. But okay, so here it's the opposite. Instead of going down, we're going up. But the principle is that we are not staying in the same dimension. Okay? Basically, when we are practicing those meditations, we have the potential of not getting upset about our situation in this world. Right? Most of the people very, very frustrated about their situation. Doesn't matter how much money they have, it's never enough. Doesn't matter how healthy they are, it's never enough. Doesn't matter how, whatever they have, it's never enough. So most of the people are upset and frustrated and have a lot of desires that doesn't get addressed, doesn't get satisfaction for them, and it's a very hard life, right? As long as you're staying in this shallow surface of the water, So everything becomes to be very, very challenging, right? Life is a challenge. But when we're changing our perspective, when we're changing our consciousness to go deep inside or to higher dimensions, the same thing for me. So all of those things doesn't really matter. Okay? So my wife is all the time, she's complaining that I'm, I don't know how you say it in English, adish. Like, how you say adish in English? Someone that, like things are happening and he doesn't care about it. It's like...
Apathetic?
Empathetic?
Apathetic.
Apathetic, yes. So, yeah. So, but it's not the point of to be apathic, yeah. When there is things that we have to care about, right? Definitely, there is a mitzvah for example. Now we were in engagement, so it's a mitzvah to be happy for something that is good that is happening. Also the opposite, something that happens that is negative, somebody that, I don't know, whatever. I don't want to speak about negative things, but whatever is something that is negative. So it makes a difference. But most of the things that people care about is not so much those things. Yeah, somebody that he doesn't have enough salt in his soup, so he cares about it more than the people that are dying from hunger in the other side of the road, usually, right? Unfortunately. So the point is that it's a matter of perspective. Okay? As much as we are closer to our neshama, we are closer to Hashem, so then we are changing our perspective, and we should look, and that's what we're working on, to get as much as we can the perspective of Hashem on the creation. Okay? Obviously we can't, we're not Hashem, but as much as we are walking on this path to develop those different view on ourselves, on life, on the world, so it should take us slowly to change our point of view and to look on the things according to the view of Hashem. Okay? How do we know? From the Torah, obviously, right? According to what the Torah is teaching us. So whatever Hashem cares about, those are the things that should make a difference for us, to be happy or to be sad. Things that doesn't make a difference in Hashem's perspective, so we shouldn't care about them so much. Okay? That's the principle. So let's go back to what we read. We read about Ruach. So what is the Ruach? The Ruach is the rope, the channel, the ladder that you climb on. Ladder. The ladder that you climb on to get from the nefesh that is connected to the physical up to the neshama that have the potential to connect to Hashem. Okay? So as much as we're walking on our ruach, that's what will give us the ability for the elevation. Okay? The ruach is the main tool for the spiritual elevation. L'chaim, l'chaim. Baruch. אלוהינו, מלך אלוהינו.
האחרונות על
שהכל נהיה בדברו.
Amen.
Okay, let's read another paragraph.
As it says in Tehillim, taste and see the goodness of Hashem. Once properly connected, the nefesh tastes the purpose of life and resigns from its stubbornness. It joyfully accepts its place in service of the neshama to be in a constant connection with Hashem, thereby revealing Hashem in the world.
Okay, so that's, in another word, after we are experiencing the elevation and the connection to the neshama, then through the same connection, which is the ruach, the light of the neshama comes down to the nefesh, and then the nefesh can feel real pleasure. Something that doesn't have the boundaries of this world, because it's coming from the upper world. Okay? As much as the nefesh is getting this light from the neshama, so then all of the other things of this world become to be meaningless. So somebody that you have the connection with his neshama, what can you offer him in this world? Nothing. Yeah? The biggest house. What's the meaning of a big house? The fastest car. Okay, whatever. Somebody have the connection with the neshama. That's it. He have what he wants. Doesn't matter where he is, what situation. If as long as he can keep this connection, that is getting this flow of light from the neshama to the nefesh, is in bliss. He's just getting the highest satisfaction. More of all of the whatever you want to think of pleasures of this world, everything becomes to be nothingness. Something that doesn't last, doesn't have any meaning. So this pleasure of the neshama that comes from the neshama to the nefesh, this is the real pleasure, right? And this is really the place of this pleasure is the world to come, future to come. But Hashem is giving us a certain experience, certain taste, like we said here, to have a taste of the pleasure of the world to come. Okay? When is that? What's the time of that? So some people, they have that experience in Shabbat. Okay, Shabbat me'en olam haba. So there is a certain possibility to, if somebody is really working on his Shabbat, to connect to that experience there. But also in the meditations. Okay, if someone is really practicing those meditations, there is a possibility to have a certain glimpse, certain taste from this high level of pleasure that is really related to the world to come. Right? In the world to come, it says, what do you do there? What do you do when you are in the world to come? צדיקים יושבים, ועטרותיהם בראשיהם, ונהנים מזה בשכינה. The righteous people sits and they have the crown, obviously spiritual crown, on their head, and they have the pleasure of the glow of the Shekhinah, the light of the Shekhinah that is giving them the satisfaction. Okay? So in other words, they're meditating, right?
They what?
Meditating.
Meditating.
Yes? Sitting down, relax, breathe, and enjoy the glow of the Shekhinah.
Whatever
right?
you're doing. No, it doesn't matter what you're doing as long as just...
So, right? So the point is that we can have this experience also now in this world. Okay? Just a matter of decision. Somebody that he wants can always, doesn't matter where he is, in the middle of the market, on a train, on a bus, waiting to the traffic light to change. The door is always open. If you make a decision, I want to retreat from this world and connect with my inner being, your inner being is always there with you. No one can take it from you. So you just turn inside and step. That's it. Okay? Obviously, easier said than done, but somebody that is working on in this and is practicing this and is getting used to those techniques, it's possible. And obviously, that's the biggest present that anyone can give himself. Right? What can be better present?
So why is everybody not doing this?
Very good question. I'm also asking myself. If you find an answer, tell me. Okay, let's read the practice here.
Mikdash practice. Activate the Ruach. Begin by connecting to your nefesh, as we explained above. Then continue by speaking some words of Kedusha, a Tehillim or a Baracha. Try to be aware of every letter you say. The verse we brought before, Nefesh Chai, was translated in Onkelos as Ruach Mimamela. Speaking Ruach, we see that the leading quality of the Ruach is speech. Therefore, activating the Ruach is achieving over time by practicing holy speech, Torah learning, and heartfelt prayer.
Okay, so
That's what we're doing.
this is something that I didn't speak about it, the connection between Ruach and speech, but we have to have another point of introduction here that Nefesh Chaim explains, and also other sources. Obviously, this yeshiva is called Yeshivat Nefesh Chaim, so I'm all the time going back to Nefesh Chaim, but there's many sources for that, like I said here, Unugulus, for example. So it says that we have Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama. So the Nefesh is related to the act, the Ruach is related to the speech, and Neshama is related to thought. Okay? Yeah? So we want to activate the Ruach, and we'll know that the Ruach is related to speech. So by using our speech for the purpose that Hashem gave us this ability, we're activating the part within us that is related to that. Okay? Simple. So let's do the practice together. Right here, right now. Ready? Set? Go. So make yourself comfortable. First of all. First step, sit down in a comfortable position. Close your eyes, breathe deeply. So first we are connecting ourselves, our consciousness, to our nefesh. How do we connect to our nefesh? We become to be aware of our physical sensations. Whatever is pleasurable, whatever is not. Hot, cold, pressure, loose, whatever it is. Those sensations is our gateway to relate to the nefesh that sustains the physical. And we keep on breathing. Now we want to use the power of speech for something that is holy to relate and activate the Ruach. So I'm just taking a few words of Pasuk of Tehillim. It can be anything else. So we will make it to be like a little song or something like that. Okay. think about what would have been if people would have prayed the whole Shacharit like that, with this concentration, with this consciousness, with the intention to activate the Ruach and to connect to the Neshama. So we continue really from here. We should continue to relate to the Neshama, which is again the goal, the purpose of activating the Ruach. So even though we didn't speak about the quality of the Neshama yet, so just by knowing that there is something like that is called Neshama, so we can already put our heart in that direction and try to feel something of that light that is within our being, that comes down through the Ruach, and have the potential of all of the pleasures of this world, like the man that Am Yisrael ate in the desert, that could have any taste. Same way, the light that comes down from the Neshama through the Ruach to the Nefesh contains all of the pleasures that are possible to experience. Just let yourself another moment to experience a little glimpse of light. And if somebody feels that he doesn't feel, so can use the power of imagination and imagine yourself what would it be like to feel right now total bliss that has within it all of the pleasures of the world. What I said just now is a very, very powerful tool in meditation. That we'll speak about later, B'ezrat Hashem. So we are absorbing this light into our being, into the different levels of our being, and we're going back to the Nefesh with the consciousness, to the sensations of the physical body, and when you're ready you bring the movement back and you can open your eyes. So once again, what we did here in this practice, we are activating the Ruach by speech. Then after it is activated, so then we are proceeding with the meditation to use this tool, this quality of the Ruach, as a connection to the Neshama. And B'ezrat Hashem, maybe tomorrow we will continue to read about the neshama and understand a little better what does it mean to have this connection with the neshama. But for now, before we're finishing, I want to explain a little bit better the point that I said about the imagination. Okay? For many people, imagination is something that have no meaning. I imagine that I am a king. So I am a king now? No, I'm still here. I'm still myself. Nothing changed. Nothing happened. So it doesn't have any meaning. You can imagine, but it doesn't have any meaning, right? Many people think this way. But the matter of fact, it's not true. It's not true. So, like I said many times, the proof about the positive we can take from the negative, right? So, in other words, we know, it's very famous, how much damage is done by someone that is imagining things that are not proper in his mind, right? And we know that the positive side is always stronger. So as much as there is damage that is done by imagining negative things, the privilege and the potential of growth that can be by imagining good things is much, much greater. Okay? And there's a famous statement, I think, of the Salomon Kelem, that he says, what is the difference between a tzaddik and a rasha, righteous man and a wicked man? Koach hatziyur, the power of imagination. What the wicked person is doing with his imagination, and what is the righteous person is doing with his imagination. Okay? It's more important than what they do with their body. The imagination is more important than what they do with their body. Okay? It can be someone that is doing with his body the things that looks like he's a tzaddik, but in his mind he's wicked. So what is he? Is he wicked or is he a tzaddik? In his body, in his physical level, physical dimension, he's doing everything properly. Yeah? But his head is in the worst places. So what is he? In those moments, the door for tshuva is always open. But in those moments, he's wicked. Even though his body is doing the right things. And the opposite. Somebody that is in a very, very bad place with his physical body, but his mind is he just have the yearning to connect to Hashem, and he wants to go out of that place and to do just good things and positive things. So his heart is connected to Hashem. So he's alive. Tzaddik. Okay? It's hard for us to think about it, because we are very, very limited to the physical attachment of this world. But this is based on Chazal, what I'm saying.
What if a person is, what is a tzaddik? What was the example again about a tzaddik?
I'm saying, obviously, it's better to have both in the right place, right? The body and the mind. But someone that in his body it is in a very bad place. For example, okay, there's a story in the Gemara about someone that he was a child, that he was growing up, that he was a child of a rabbi, and whatever happened, he got to a very, very bad place, very bad state, and he was inside of a house with prostitutes. And then there was few rabbis that went there to rescue him. Okay? So those rabbis that are coming into this house with the prostitutes, so with their body, they are in the worst place, right? They are in the house of prostitutes. But their mind was nothing to do with those prostitutes. Their mind was devoted to Hashem. They were connected to Hashem. They went there to do mitzvah. They didn't want to be there. They just went there to rescue this young guy, right? So the fact that their body was in the worst place doesn't make them to be wicked. because their heart was in the right place, their mind was in the right place, so they are righteous. Right? This is just an example, but you can understand from here the all kinds of different other possibilities. The point of the matter is, Hashem wants our heart, and when we give our heart to Hashem, that's it. We won the game. Mission accomplished. Okay? That's it. So all what we do is to try to connect our heart to Hashem. And if we done that, oh Hashem, it was worth it to be alive. If we didn't do it, so all what we did is basically nothing. So B'ezrat Hashem, I hope that with all of this encouragement and inspiration, we will have this strengthness to go for it and to connect to Hashem with all our might, with all our being. Baruch Adonai Le'olam. Amen.
Amen.